Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. His Excellency Mr. Guy Ryder, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon. I am happy to join this event on ILO's Global Leaders Day during the global COVID-19 pandemic that has affected our nations, especially our workers, the most. I will share our experiences and measures on how we are dealing with the crisis. Bangladesh deeply appreciates ILO's all endeavors. This global calamity has now threatened the very base of globalization and connectivity that all of us have carefully built over the years. This is no longer just a health problem but becomes a full-fledged global economic and social crisis. Like many other crises, the LDCs and developing countries are facing the main burden, although the crisis did not start with them. During this pandemic, our domestic and external supply chains were severely disrupted. We lost export orders of billions of dollars. Many of our industries were closed and millions of workers lost their jobs. Our small industries lost most of its resources and markets, and above all, our agriculture suffered huge loss due to supply chain disruption. On the back of it, we are hosting 1.1 million forcibly evicted Rohingyas from Myanmar. When the crisis of COVID-19 began to unfold, we immediately announced a $12.1 billion stimulus package for various sectors of our economy, as well as support to different segments of our society. This support package is equivalent to 3.7% of our GDP. To support our workers in export industries, we have given $1 billion for paying wages of the workers. My government hiked wages of the government's workers by almost 500%, and also workers of other sectors by, on an average, 360% since we assumed office in 2009. We provided cash and other incentives directly to more than 50 million people who lost their daily income during this pandemic. I must here mention the huge loss of jobs of our migrant workers and the resulting shortfall in remittance. It's a great concern for us as remittance is a key component to achieve the SDGs. Currently, repatriation of these jobless migrant workers has proved to be a huge challenge. The World Bank predicted that we will lose more than 20% of our earnings from remittance. Under these circumstances, we may remember the centenary declaration of ILO, where all of us recognized to transform our world through technological innovation, demographic shifts, climate change, and globalization. The virus does not discriminate, but its adverse impacts severely discriminates against the vulnerable, especially the migrants and women workers. In this regard, my suggestions are: number one, job of migrant workers at the overseas markets must be retained during this crisis. Number two, in case of layoff, compensation and other dismissal benefits must be paid in full, along with ensuring their safety and health benefits. And number three, after the pandemic, these workers would have to be recruited for reactivating the economy. In conclusion, I must say that a vigorous, well coordinated, and worldwide response with the participation of all countries, international organizations, civil society organizations, and private sector is needed now. UN and international organizations will be at the center of all recovery measures to be supported by G7, G20, OECD, and international financial institutions. With everything happening all around us, the promises of decent jobs for all seems hard to realize individually. But I am convinced that together we can do it. I wish ILO all success for this event. Thank you very much.